Finally tonight, 27-year-old Newark native Osasenaga Iyamu isn't just the holder of the Miss Newark USA title. She's a first-generation student earning a Master of Public Health degree at Rutgers who's faced a number of setbacks in life that could have derailed her journey, but instead strengthened her purpose and resilience. Iyamu is now using her platform to mentor kids in her home city of Newark, sharing her passion for science and raising awareness about the disparities in environmental and public health that hit people in her community harder than most anywhere else. And she joins me now. Osasenaga, great to meet you. So happy to have you in here. You started out not necessarily wanting to have a public health degree, but the pandemic and your initial degree sort of changed that. What happened for you?
It first started off with my interest in pharmacy. I was always so fascinated with how medications helped heal the body, and I wanted to take part in that. I first wanted to become a chemist, or like a medicinal chemist that helps create different types of medication to help cure illnesses. And after working as a pharmacy technician and also sitting in my first few classes as a freshman at the University of Hartford, I realized, okay, even though this is a very great and lucrative direction to go, the morals behind it, I couldn't allow myself to be at peace with it. And specifically learning that, okay, when you create a new medication or discover a new medication, it's not as accessible because it's more expensive and it's not normally catered to people in inner city areas such as Newark. And why not make it so? And
yeah, why not use your talents to sort of align with how you feel morally, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So then you get this Miss Newark USA 2024 title. Congratulations on that. And you decide, I'm going to use my platform to talk about sustainability and the environment, which is not something we always put together with a pageant or a pageant title holder.
Right. Same thing with when you look at sustainability. Normally when one thinks of sustainability, you just think, okay, it has to do with the environment and that's it. But what's amazing and beautiful about public health is that it's such a multidisciplinary and interconnected field that when you're looking at different health disparities, you're not looking at, okay, what was their diet, or you know, what is their daily routine. It's okay, what do they have access to? What does what are the other social determinants of health that are being considered when looking at various disparity issues and stuff like that?
Why was that important for you? Being a Newark native, you're the firstborn daughter of immigrant parents from Nigeria.
Yes.
Why in particular was that so important and important for you to bring to your platform?
Initially, I'm thankful for my parents for doing this, but I was like you had rightfully said earlier, I was born and raised in Newark, and my parents made it their mission to allow us to see where our family started off, which is Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. And so I've had the opportunity with my siblings to go back home to Nigeria and see how when cooking food, you know, cultural foods, every resource is used. So the plantain, you're using the plantain to make a meal, but what about the peels? The peels are repurposed for something else. And coming back to Newark, seeing that, it just triggered a lot of questions for me. It got to the point where my dad was like, okay, please, your questions are plenty. Ask your teacher because I don't have all the answers. And so I think that kind of opened the door for me to pursue public health as I navigated high school, as I navigated college, because my questions just would not stop. And I love the fact that public health allowed me to embrace the fact that I was able to ask questions, but also spark my curiosity in a way where I can be creative in looking at the same problem from different lenses. And so that's the beauty of sustainability. You're looking at very ordinary life problems or social issues through very different lenses, because in some way it impacts each area of one's life very differently, environmentally, socially, economically, and yeah.
And so, what do you want your message to be, especially to other young girls in Newark
Right.
who are thinking about what opportunities they may or may not have, and they see you, Queen of Newark, with your crown, I mean, rightfully so. What do you want their message to be, and what are you trying to bring to them when you do go to schools and meet with students?
Embrace all of your differences. That's one thing. Embrace the challenges that comes with being so different. Sometimes the obstacles that we face in life is not particularly to put us down, but it's to stretch us in ways that we didn't think that we can stretch into.
Is that something you experienced?
100%. I was just telling a friend of mine some of the challenges that I experienced. You know, being the darkest girl in the classroom, having a thick accent, pronouncing words differently. Those all made me stand out, but eventually I allowed myself to lean into it and embrace it. And so standing out is not always particularly a bad thing. It may be uncomfortable, but it's not a bad thing, because there's always someone else in a different space that you are stepping into that are looking for someone that they can see themselves as. And so being able to represent the city of Newark as well as my home country as a proud embodiment of both, embracing both, and the challenges that come with not only being an African American woman, but also a child to Nigerian immigrant parents is a blessing. And I do not take any of that for granted. I want all girls from all walks of life, of all different ethnicities and, you know, backgrounds to also see, okay, she went through this, this, and this. And here she stands, you know, strong, victorious, and just ready to walk in her purpose and inspire others to do the same.
And that you are. Osasenaga, thank you so much for coming in. It was a pleasure to get to meet you.
Thank you. Likewise.